But yes, thank you guys. Welcome to the Heroic Play. It's been a bit of a hiatus. Life has happened. A lot has happened. In personal and work and everything, but I do want to film some more in general, not just podcasts, but battle reports as well. And we have here a very special guest from
the man,
the Runic Elk,
Yeah.
Michael, and we could scoot a little Michael because Perfect. We holding hands behind the table. But yeah, introduce yourself, Michael. Everyone already knows you.
Yeah, so on the Discords, I'm like Mr. Happy Knife or Mr. Sad Knife, one of those two names, because there was a long story about me trying to be good with cooks, and then it's like, oh no, this is
it's not happening.
It's not happening. Like, cooks are in a bad spot. But yeah, my original handle was Runic Elk, and I'm playing out of the San Francisco Bay Area meta. I'm slowly rebuilding it. We've got I got 4 people that kind of want to be playing the game, and it's just a little bit hard to just schedule with 4 people because one of them works second shift, and then the other 2, they just had their first demo with me, and they're like, we like this, we're interested. Well, let's do another demo, and then we might get some stuff. And then one person who was like, I reached out. We kept on talking, and then we just never had scheduled the game. Yeah,
Schedules are tough.
yeah.
But thank you so much. And of course, we've seen you on the Discord. Great overall, all around, great guy.
All around great guy. Everywhere he goes, he brings the swag. Every
that's
tournament he
true.
goes to, he gives out a bunch of stuff. Michael's just nice dude.
Yeah,
Nice dude.
I
Love hanging
don't
out
want
with him.
to. I don't want to say how much I've been spending throughout my entire Guild Ball life for swag prizes, but it's upward of $3,000.
But the friendships we made along the way are
That's
nice.
Yeah.
It's funny, but did we meet you first at Kingdom Con
Yes, you guys explicitly met me.
2019 or 2018? I don't, because
It was in San Diego.
It was the last one. So
Yeah,
this was
2019.
this was 2019. I started the game in September of 2018. It was literally 2 weeks before the season 4 launch. So that was the week before the WTC in Poland that year. Then 2 weeks after that was the SteamCon in Charlottesville, one of those Tennessee mountain area states, and that's when they were like, all right, bam, season 4, new age,
New captains.
no. This was quite literally this was just the season 4 launch where they changed the AoE rules.
and the push rule where it has to be.
Not the push roll, but it was the allocate versus gain in.
I explicitly remembered being at Kingdom Con, and Corbelli, and Corker were released only at SteamCon, I think. And they were actually released in the wild, but they weren't for sale for retail. So if you had one and you were at that con, I bought one on eBay for $200 just so I could bring it to Kingdom Con and play.
That poor belly was
Yeah, that release Corbelli definitely needed to be toned down, but to the where he is now, it hurts a little bit.
Yep. Oh, and also
Differing opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he is also our resident lamplighter specialist because, well, lamplighters are now officially in the game, and we need a consultant. So we have called in.
I need to shed some light.
Yes, of course.
I think I personally watched one game of them played. I haven't actually played against them or played with them, but I've seen someone play.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, full disclosure, because I need to be saying this, when the Lamplighters added their Kickstarter for being hey, we need money to hire an artist, and we need money to hire the digital sculptor, and if you back money, you're going to get the STL files first, or if you back more money, we are going to print and send you anywhere in the world one full set of Lamplighters. So I did contribute to that Kickstarter, and I did get a printed set of Lamplighters from the steering committee. So I need to say that so people know, because it's I've had a lot of action with this team.
You've had them since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, so the rules, if I remember correctly, like the rules for the models were released, and then it was like they had like 2 errata waves when the rules were released, but the models weren't released, and then after that second rules release, they were like, okay, these Lamplighters are now in the state we want to have them be official guilds, and we are now launching the Kickstarter, the Kickstarter to be like, we want people to have STL files of this, and the STL files were going to be the ones of like, these are where the Lamplighters are as released, and these are their rules. So you could be playing them before to be like, hey, this needs a boost, this needs a tone down, this needs a boost. Hey, this rule is flavorful.
You could be playtesting.
But like, yeah, you were an active playtester during that time. And I think I have to pull up my launch sheets, but it's like, I think I went on record for 132 Lamplighter games.
That's not my whole Guild Ball career.
Yeah, that was near
games.
We need to play that.
Actually, no, wait. No, I played 132 games on Vassal that year. I think 98 of them were Lamplighters. Yeah, so I got those numbers mixed up. But yeah, because I was chasing the Lamplighter badge on my things, and it's like the highest I ever got was like 468.
What do you need for a badge?
500.
Oh my gosh, you're so close.
Yeah.
I would just host a tournament.
Yeah, literally.
Dog all my games so Michael can get a badge.
I'll play. Base or I'm Morticians. Or was it Rat Catchers? They need some love. I'm gonna play some Rat Catchers versus some. But so then I'll be real. I've looked at the card. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool.
I've never played lamps. I've never played against lamps. So I'm fresh eyes here.
All right.
But one thing I've noticed, especially about the captain, that for me was kind of insane was lens flare.
Yes.
Where it's like, no matter what you do, you're
capped.
You're capped. And as a Brewers player, that's scary.
That's scary.
It's really scary. Like, you put that on Hooper, or you put that on Tapper, or you put that on literally like anybody in the Brewers, and you're like, oh,
your buffs be gone.
Yeah.
Let alone as a Falconers player, if that gets on Divana,
that's it.
So sad.
Honestly, that's the turn. Like, your turn is done.
Yeah, that's going to stop your death from above, but that's not going to stop your kick, because Divana's kicks increases distance, not dice.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about kick dice. I was just thinking about attack.
Oh, that's right.
Wow. Okay.
Unmodified base kick and unmodified tack. That's crazy.
So Lamplighters, first off, they're a 3-0 team. They can swing into 2-2. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You need to be prepping, like, you need to be prepping your turns to get to,
or have it pre-nerf phosphor.
I mean, like, with Lamplighters, it is easier to have the old phosphor because there's a lot of tricks you can be doing. But if Phosphor is an alchemist, he's not going to be doing that momentous 2 damage in an AoE, which is fine. Okay. Also, yeah, they decrease his melee to 1 inch, which, all right, fine. That's fine. It kind of needed to be done, but also, like, this team is struggling because it was like it was literally me, Mike the Dog Klein, and Corey from Canada. We were for a while now, we were like the only players of Lamplighters, and we were all kind of sort of chasing that 500 RPI on launch chains for the badge.
Do you think they intentionally released them a little underpowered so people wouldn't be upset?
No.
Okay.
No. Because when it was very much sort of like, as a new minor guild, with the only information that we had from Steamforged when the game, went into a pause, was they have a on-off mechanic. They play with fire, and Mercury and Crucible were the playdowns. That's all we knew when the game got paused about Lamplighters. And so the steering committee were like, all right, we have this basic framework. Let's build from there. And they knew, all right, with Mercury, it's like, okay, it's a ranged damage dealer and an AoE placer. So maybe we're gonna do something with ranged character plays, and we have Crucible, who is a non-linear goal bot. So it was like, okay, so we probably don't want to give them anti-ball tech, but we need to be giving them a non-linear goal spot.
Yeah.
So that was
I'm open.
Yeah,
I mean,
all of the
I'm
reactive
open, and Wick, which is like one of the best models.
Wick is nuts.
Wick is one of the best goal scorers.
Well, let's talk about pretty much their overall mechanic. They're the playdowns for alchemists, so or the minor guild for alchemists, so they're alchemists. Their mechanic is they light people on fire. When they're on fire, they have different abilities. When they're not on fire, they have different.
Yes.
Kind of what I'm understanding, and so it's a really cool mechanic, and it's different from the alchemists that are just using it as a resource. You have to actually manage it on your own models, which is interesting. I wish there was like a rule that damage from fire, but I like that you have to take a movement penalty in order to.
You are still taking the movement penalty for being on fire
and for having your other abilities, and it's just really cool. You know, you get to play almost with like two models. They're like one model when he's on fire. One model.
Yes.
It's a high skill team. I would definitely say.
Some models are vastly different when they're on fire than other models. And we will get to them when we're going through the cards.
And then I would also say like one of my least favorite things is like spending activations and influence to like make your setup happen. Like I wish it kind of just happened. Like you have like at the start of your turn, this model can like so many people get on fire. Like that's what I would like to play. So like they don't speak to me as much because you have to take activation to set things up. And I don't really like it. but they look like a really cool team, really well designed. So yeah, get into it. Let's talk about.
All right, we're gonna start with the captain. Because the captain is very, in my experience with my games, it's very much your second most important piece, because your captain is a model that can very much be starting or continuing your fire train. Because your captain has Relight the Fire, which is that range 6 character play for 1 influence or a guild ball, which is on column 1, and where it's choose a model in 6 inches, and it's a 3-inch, or bubble from there. Every model in those 3 inches gets set on fire.
That's
no rolling; it just happens.
And it's so when you
Yes,
it's
so
not a 3-inch AoE, it's a 3-inch from that model. So it's technically like a 6-inch AoE.
Technically 6 inches because you measure to the opposite sides of your base.
And it's a guild ball on 1 on the playbook, which is insane. So it's a momentous guild ball, range 6. It is once per turn, but that's
and it costs 1 to do it on your model, and you don't have to roll. If you're targeting an enemy model, it's probably not the best.
No, because it's the stipulation is always target friendly model.
Oh yeah.
It's
cool.
So it's like you can spend 1 influence, or you spend 1 influence, make the attack, and then you get momentum.
Yeah.
Because it's important that Nightlight does have this big burst of fire, because that's going to be setting up your other models. Your Wick, your Beacon, your Phosphor, because they don't want to be spending their influence to set themselves on fire. And then Nightlight also has this trait where choose a friendly model in 6 inches of her and take off fire. If you do, they make a 4-inch dodge. So you can target yourself, you can target your friendlies, and it's
that model.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. Like Lamplighters are very heavily activation order team, and that's what makes it really high skill. Is because your activations have to be right for the time. Like you don't have like a set turn. This goes first. This kind of that's that situation.
Yes. So most alchemists, most lamplighter models, they do have a way to get fire on themselves. Some are a little bit more, convoluted and intensive than other models, but having this character play on Nightlight and also Beacon is just one of the biggest ways of being like, I kind of am anticipating a lot of things happening, so I'm just gonna set up a lot of fire and be like, I am now prepared for the next activation.
The bike is really
yes,
it's just a fun ability.
It is
too.
I mean, like one of the things that like one of the play patterns is you start your activation, spend 1 influence, set yourself on fire, pull your fire off, dodge out, and now you've got your actual movement. Go do your things, and hopefully at the end score a goal.
Yeah. And then, so what's her defensive tech, right?
So her defensive tech is if she is on fire, you are suffering a -1 die. And it's very much sort of like, with like, because of the timing of like, hey, I'm not on fire, I'm taking a counterattack into your model. Oh, okay, I didn't die, I can still make my counterattack. Bam, I set myself on fire. The rest of your attacks into me are going to be now a little bit, difficult.
Yeah, I mean, with a 5 defense, 0 armor stat line, suffering -1 attack could be the difference of, being able to do something on column 2.
Just like lens flare is almost always better than almost. It depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation. Yeah. If someone is like, I don't need to use my full stack to attack you, lens flare might be better rather than setting yourself on fire, because
it depends on their setup too.
Because then lens flare is going to follow around that model.
And lens flare isn't once per turn, right?
No.
So you can even, if you counterattack, can you target someone else with the lens flare, which might actually be profitable in the long run. That's pretty good.
And then what's her legendary?
Her legendary is all models in a 6-inch pulse suffer the burning condition. Enemy models suffer 3 damage.
It's Savannah, but worse.
Yeah, because it's burning. But also
it helps their team.
It helps your team.
Burning, yeah. He's pretty good.
Yeah. The small
Poor Philip, dude.
The small issue is that, as a tax 6 model, the 1-inch reach, your playbook damage is not the highest, and you definitely need like a friend or two to help set it up. Because you got momentous 1 damage on 2, and then momentous 2 damage on 4. So you can do a takeout. I have done some takeouts, but it's not something that is going to happen naturally through Nightlight herself.
I mean, is she a striker? Because she's got the 4-8 kick.
The 4-8 is pretty insane.
She's very much sort of like a Midas.
Yeah.
Like a Midas from Alchemist, where it's like, I'm going to attack to set up, I'm going to attack to get the ball, and then I'm going to use all that setup to now disengage or do other stuff in order to get a goal.
Yeah, and it's pretty much where they go with Back to Black. Like on herself.
Yeah, either I'm going to score the goal after doing my setup, or I'm going to set up in order to get the goal and make it happen.
Makes sense.
And then one of the funnest games I had with Nightlight was with her sort of captain rule, where if she is on the field, if your model suffered a takeout condition, they blow up like Flask.
Yeah.
If you search into Discord for something called the Big Bomb, it was an activation where I had with Phosphor, where I took out 2 of my models to have them blow up and blow up 2 other models, which then blew up and then took out another model, which blew up and took out and did more damage.
Wow. So what was the VP exchange after that activation?
It was my opponent gained 3 VP and I gained 4 VP.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's why we play this game. Those are fun activations. So like, a typical turn, are you like loading her up pretty much every turn, or is it kind of call for the situation?
I would normally be doing anywhere between 4 to 6 influence on her.
That's an investment.
It's a big investment. But it's like, even giving her 2 influence on like a quote unquote dead turn when those show up, like you will still get a lot of effects.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a goal with 2 influence, right? You sprint back to black and then make a
you sprint legendary, set yourself on fire, back to black, dodge for 4 inches, and now you get it.
Because that's
so it's
for like a better than Friday goal.
Yeah. It's almost because 4 6. That's a flint activation. Yeah.
Because you can move that 8.
Yeah, because
flint set yourself on fire, so you get your full sprint.
But flint needs 3.
True.
That's 2 in a legend.
2 a legendary. I mean, you still might set a bunch of other people on fire and do 3 damage, and then you eat your own fire, dodge
That's cool.
score with
Mhm.
8, so you're looking at 12, 20-inch goal threat non-linear. So pretty good for
It's
2 influence.
Yeah, that is pretty.
That
good.
could be your third goal. That could be your
I
second
would
goal.
say like her
That's
character plays.
definitely a second.
Yeah.
That's definitely a second goal that happened. Like a nightlight is definitely your second goal. Because your first goal is probably always going to be Wick.
Yeah.
With Wick, because Wick makes it so easy. We'll get to Wick.
Oh yeah, that's
my first thought looking at her is like, you don't want too much influence on her. You pretty much just want 1 or 2 for relight the fire when she's in the back, and then when she goes in, you're having a turn going in. With the stack on, you get the goal, or you get like a super good setup turn. Because like that is a 4-inch melee, you know, or 4-inch range. It's not, and she's just gonna be in the thick of it. It depends on who your opponent is too, whether you're playing a high takeout team or like not so much takeout but more ball focused. Kind of depends.
Yeah.
But
Against takeout teams, you have lens flare, which you cannot go above your printed attack value for an attack. If you go down, you can always be bonus timing up, but you can't go above your printed value.
I'm nervous getting in there.
Like,
14 life, 5-0, like against a takeout team, like.
but takeout teams, like they would have like a model. Well, oh hey, I'm tax 6, I'm tax 7 base.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who are going to be going into Nightlight.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you lens flared me. It doesn't matter. My dice pool is still
True.
large to start with.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I think Nightlight's biggest Achilles heel would be probably a Brewers player or a Farmers player, because they've got that big tack like base, and then also they got the low knockdowns.
Low knockdown, and
Yeah.
also actually like short playbooks.
Yeah.
Short playbooks for the Brewers, and actually like high printed values
Yep.
on the Farmer.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Farmers, momentous 2-on-1.
Yeah, because you put Corker with Whiskey Chaser, it doesn't matter what you hit for your first playbook, you're getting knocked down regardless. So
Yes.
it's like you just, and Tapper's got KD on 1.
If you roll 5, I sometimes
True.
Not
True.
yeah.
Any amount of dice, that's right. But it's like if you can get it down to that 4 defense with a KD,
Mhm.
14 HP is just gonna evaporate like
That will.
that. Especially on a team like Farmers or Brewers. I think the team that would struggle against her a lot is Butchers.
Yeah.
Just because it's like you put all that fire on them, and then also they don't have an easy KD, so they're trying to swing for 5-0.
The Blizzards are kind of crazy though.
They-
I don't know.
I mean, they
I've seen
are,
that.
but-
Like,
But
yeah.
like Butchers, they have a high print.
They have the high
True.
attack. They got the bonus to damage. They have damage bonuses that aren't attack bonuses.
That
Yeah.
could be,
Um,
but you would have to be in their setup for that to happen.
I'm just like vet board, 2-inch melee.
Okay,
Like-
Vet Board, yeah, you're bad. Anything's bad.
Yeah. Because
Like-
Vet Bor, what? He's printed pack 8.
Yeah, I think
I feel like a lot of the butchers just use the 2-inch melee models too. So like the vet board, the shanks, the gutters,
Yeah.
the oxes. Like I feel like those models.
True. Yeah. Oh, should we head on?
Yeah,
to
let's
the
go.
next
Let's go to sit.
Let's go to Soot. So Soot had a great rule when first released, where anytime someone makes a kick, which includes a pass, and it includes a shot on goal, it includes a pass to space, that Soot would make a 4-inch dodge, I think, directly towards the model that is directly towards the ball. Not the model that is making the kick, but towards the ball. But that was like, it had some weird interactions specifically with, the kickoff turn, which is like not a turn, but it is a turn. So they were like, all right, we're sorry. We were ambitious with this. Let's tone it back down. So Soot is like the greatest setup model for you, because you've got test subject. So, hey, I'm going to pull fire from one of my models, or the enemy model, but it's most likely going to be one of your models, and it's going to be like, hey, at any point now, I can do a character play, and your 2 character plays are I Spy, and also Taking Flight, which is from
Taking Flight. Is
yeah. So
Delicious.
It's
Icarus
so
is my
good.
favorite model. So.
yeah. So if you loading up 2 influence on Soot, like. And-
Yeah,
loading.
loading.
Yeah, 2 20 influence.
Yeah.
yeah, it is quite literally like, okay, cool. You got your 7-inch free movement with after you pull fire from someone. You've got a 9-inch sprint, and oh hey, I'm now within 4 inches of the goal. Bang, 2 die,
Real quick.
two die goal.
Just noticed the camera's a little off. Also, it's like
And you're
it's
flying.
a goal threat that people aren't expecting as well, which is kind of I'm gonna pull this camera back. So like we cutting off the guest of honor here. So rip. Oh.
All right, there we go. I think that's.
There we go. I mean, we're gonna keep this in.
Yeah.
Do you guys want any other snacks or coffee?
I'm good so far. I'm good.
Okay. Right through that. Sorry about that. All good.
And then Soot is also with I Spy. That's the other way that you're going to be dealing with a model that is, not bunkered up, but also like has the tech to like really punish you on your first attack.
Mhm.
So because hey, you're getting +2 attack when you attack them, you're gonna get your effect off first, and then oh hey, that counterattack or whatever they could be doing, it's now gonna be a little bit less profitable for them.
I mean, and it's a cost 2 character play would actually help.
It's
It's a free one.
You
In
get-
exchange, and you
again-
get the 2 dice.
Again, you get it for free
Mhm.
because you can get it for free because Tess does it.
I'm keep knocking those things under the table here. That's on me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, that is Soot. Soot is also, a bomb piece that I use. Like if Soot is sitting low on HP, I might do a few
That's
attacks.
pretty sick.
I might do a few AoEs and be like, all right, Soot, bon voyage.
Yeah.
Sorry, bomb voyage. Yeah. So, oh hey, I did damage to some models. I did damage to Soot. Soot dies. Yes, you get a VP, but I just did another 3 damage burst.
Yeah.
Because again, Nightlight's on the table.
Or
it's-
he's just in the way on fire. They can't kill it. So
Yeah.
It is true.
that is cool. I didn't think about that.
That's
is cool.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you look up the Big Bomb on Discord, you will see like, yes, I damaged my Soot. Soot died, caused more explosions. Other people died, more explosions. Yep.
Him to kill mainstream. Change
Yeah.
It was into Soma.
Okay.
It was into
Oh.
Soma Alchemist, so it was like, I killed Soot. I killed Wick. That blew up. Flask. It killed.
Black blows up. Oh.
It killed Calculus, and I think.
Was it the optimal move, or did you
Yeah,
just
no,
want to do
it was the optimal move because I got 4 VP off
Yeah.
that. They got 3 VP, but that got me 4 VP, and then I just needed one more point afterwards
That's sick.
to finish the game.
There you go.
So that would have been for my next turn, being like, all right, cool. So I got a ranged gun. There's there's Flask. I just need to do 4 damage, and I win again.
Yeah, that's it.
What squad do you want to talk first?
Let's talk with Wick because
Wick,
Wick
yeah.
is premier.
Yep. Let's see.
So Wick, they them, slightly important. We wanna respect that.
Yeah.
Wick is, in my experience, the model that you're gonna be kicking off with because because it's like, hey, the first turn, they're probably going to, your opponent's probably gonna be going and moving the ball, trying to pick it up, and you just use your possibly Nightlight from behind, walk up, and now it's like you've got Wick in the front, you've got Nightlight, rest of your squaddies. Nightlight, sets herself on fire. Wick is now on fire. Other models in the back are on fire. And then Nightlight takes fire off Wick, dodges to be like, oh, your second activation, the ball is going to be that side of the field. Cool. I'm after my kickoff, I'm repositioning, and now I've lined up. I'm gonna be getting that gold red.
Yeah.
Oh my. So
This character is really strong.
so
Really good.
Wick
Or they're really good.
Wick is a 7-9 sprint
Mm-hmm.
and attack 5, 3-inch kick, 8-inch kick, 3 dice, and 2-inch melee with 5-0 defense. That is premier
Yeah.
striker. Get the ball. I'm hungry. Let's go score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the tackle on 1, you've got the dodge on 2, and they're momentous. You're golden.
Yeah.
And then you've got your guild ball symbol on 2, which is you set yourself on fire, you set the opponent that you're attacking on fire. And you do that, well, hey, extraction, it's
Yeah.
like a where'd they go. You take off someone else's fire,
And then you still have spotlight.
and then you immediately have to take the 4-inch dodge. So you can't bank this. But it's like if the opponent's already on fire, well, I'm just gonna peace out.
Yep.
And then because if let's say you go your 9, charge somebody,
Mhm.
get the burn baby burn, you use your extraction, you still have your spotlight for that 410. For that 410 kick,
Yes,
it's crazy.
yes. So if Wick is on fire, Wick is a 410 kick. It ignores engaging enemies and intervening enemies on the ball path.
Yeah.
So you're not going to lose dice for your goal kick.
Good.
Yeah, and so like if she starts her turn on fire, you just dodge right away. You charge a 1-inch melee model. If she has the ball, and then like you're likely to get burn, like the burn baby burn. It's on 2. Where you're charging, you're probably gonna have 9 attack, even if they defensive stance. You probably get that 2. Then you got that 410 kick that ignores intermediate, like can't be reduced. So
That's crazy.
pretty sick.
That's
I think it's Octave's favorite.
Yeah, I mean, like for turn 1, this is definitely your first goal. This way, because when everyone's lined up in front of the goal, you're ignoring all the intervening models. You're engaging model.
I am so glad that Wick cannot play in Alchemist.
Yeah, they would be so broken in Alchemist. Yeah.
And then just to make it nice and spicy. When after Wick makes a kick, makes a goal, if you do not do your 4-inch dodge with run the lane,
Everybody.
cool, everyone,
Yeah.
everyone in 4-inch pulse sets on fire.
Yeah, that's a cool, just like
That's just
little
nice.
extra pizzazz.
It's very much also like, because how you're arranged on the board, like if you're within 2 inches, you have to be within 2 inches to get the ball. But at 4-inch pulse around Wick, that's probably going to get maybe another 3 models on the opponent's team, and well, now they can't go as far forward.
Yeah.
Trying to counter score you. Oh, so
And she's likely in the middle of everything because her kick can be reduced. So yeah, she's just in the middle of the team.
sorry.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, that is Wick, and again, feeding Wick into the opposing team. Well, your Captain Nightlight's going to be probably in the back half of the field, and if Wick passes, gets to take out or gets taken out. Well, now you've also done a bomb.
Yeah, they explode. Yeah. So they're going up, they're kicking, they're lighting everyone on fire. They get 4 VP. They might give up 2 in the process, along with a lot of activations from your opponent, and they're gonna explode.
Yeah.
Like, really good model.
That's
very essential. The Lamplighters. I don't see you ever dropping.
No.
Like
No.
You need to score with this team, and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
Like, again, with how the game is set up, you gotta have your captain, gotta have your mascot, and you gotta have 4 squaddies. So locked in, you got Nightlight because that's your captain, Soot because that's your mascot,
And then
and Wick.
Yeah.
Those 3 are
staples.
locked in.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
that
Cool.
character
Who's
crazy.
We're gonna go into Heat.
Heat?
Okay. Heat is a difficult model in my playstyle, so I don't have a lot of games as with Heat. But Heat I've been using into teams that do big damage swings.
Yeah.
Because of the special rules on Heat's that card. Heat very much the front of the card. It was like, okay, I only care about your passing stat when I was playing. Because I just, with the influence spread that I was giving out to my models, like I could not be like, all right, Heat, you actually are being used as a goal run or anything. It was pretty difficult for me to have that set up. Because you've got the I'm open and you've got the flame jet, which is just cool. I'm gonna shoot a gun once and 3 damage fire. Cool. The bet and the most difficult part of Heat is the protect. So Heat, not on fire, you've got unpredictable movement, but you're a 1-inch melee. So a little bit difficult, and it's so easily to get around with anyone who just dodges in or has a 2-inch melee to start with.
Yeah.
When Heat is on fire, that's when the great stuff happens. So when Heat is on fire, a 6-inch aura, when you spend momentum for any effect, that model heals 2 health and can only be done once per turn.
Yeah, still pretty good.
It's pretty
Your
good.
healing tech, yeah.
That is your healing tech, but if you're in the middle of a scrum, like, and your model is healthy, you let the first attack hit you. On the second attack, you declare the counter, you heal up 2 damage, and it doesn't clear conditions or anything, but hey, you now have 2 extra damage that you need to get through to do a takeout. So with heat, you don't automatically just be like, I countered the first attack.
I like Heat. I think when I'm first looking at this team, Heat looks like the most attractive model to me because she just looks so much fun to play. Like, I'm Open is probably my favorite character to play in the game. And it's just so much fun to play with. Like, Wick's probably better at scoring that first goal, but I would probably be going in. Like, just the pass back, the run, the score. It's so much fun. And like, Bushel's like my favorite model. And like, she's got the free.
She has the reactive solution.
She has the reactive solution to get the free I'm Open or the free. But with Heat being a 2-3 model, 2-3 influence model, it's just a little bit. It's not as reliable, and it requires a little bit of setup for those effects. Heat is very much, if I'm playing into Alchemists, I'm bringing Heat. If I'm playing into models that maybe farmers, I've definitely played Heat into Fillet Butchers, where it's like, I'm going to do a big damage swing, and then I'm going to be getting extra effects, but it's like the big damage in one swing. All right, now when I'm countering attack, or whenever I make any sort of effect with momentum to like clear the conditions, oh hey, I now get the health back.
Yeah, like if you heal yourself, you're actually healing for 6, which is monumental.
Yeah, on a 5 defense model, 6 life is very significant. And there's a lot of high defense models in Guild, so
high defense
they're really squishy though.
High defense models, and they're squishy because that's sort of mirroring the Alchemist, because as this minor team is,
they want to blow up.
True.
Yeah. So they can't be too defensive or high healthful, because then they never blow up. But they definitely shouldn't be so squishy where the tiniest breeze knocks them out.
So in my opinion, like, this team needs that ranged ball threat that Crucible has. And so you have to, in my opinion, drop a squatty to get Crucible in. Heat was
most likely the model
that
I most frequently drop.
If like you're really playing competitively, might drop that Heat from the draft.
Heat, 6-8 movement, but with the greatest ability requiring Heat to be on fire, you're now a 4-6 movement on a 4-0 1-inch model.
Yeah, but I mean, you can always remove it at the start of draft.
True.
So like, she's pretty much starting, but then if you ever need to get her back on fire again,
yeah, because she doesn't have an internal way of burning herself.
But I feel like the only time she needs the movement, but she's going on a full run, and that's kind of, or she needs like defensive tag against 1-inch models, and so I feel like you only need her on fire when you don't. You know what I mean? And so it's not as detrimental.
When Heat was on the table, and Heat would be like sort of in the back half of my team, being like, yes, I'm just doing my 4-inch walk because I'm on fire. Most importantly, Heat is being on fire because I'm passively healing my other models. And very much so, it was like last activation of the turn. Okay, Heat, pull someone's fire, and just do your flame jet. All right, let's go to Phosphor.
Oh,
yeah, because I'm saving Beacon as the last model, because there are very sad stories.
Oh, sad. Okay.
Yeah. So Phosphor recently had the small nerf, where if Phosphor is on fire, that's when your 2 damage alchemical bomb happens. Otherwise, it's 1 damage, and also Phosphor's melee reach was reduced down to 1. But Phosphor is your damage. Phosphor is how you do takeouts, because you've got your your TAC 5, your momentous Guild Ball symbol on 2, which is alchemical bomb. I think they also reduced its range from 2 inches to from 4 inches to 2 inches. And that was only because Phosphor can play an Alchemist, and going, with the stuff that they can be doing with Soma, You're now tax
Correct.
7
Yeah.
with this tax 7 on a 5-long playbook, and you're now getting your double wrapping.
Yeah.
So Phosphor is the model that you're going to be putting 4 influence on most likely every single turn.
I have to question. If you know you're 3-0, like, why not just drop Foster? Like, what
That was my question
what
too,
is he bringing
actually.
to the team if you're not going for takeouts at all? You're
If
like
you
full order with no Fang 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum for the counter? Or
Fulcrum for the
Poised.
poised.
okay.
But also the spread of being like, because 2 of your models, because you're also going to be bringing Crucible, which requires burning or poison.
Mhm.
You have Soot, burning or poison. You have Extraction from Wick, needs burning, and Phosphor is just like, I can spread out burning so far.
oh, because it's an AoE.
Yeah.
It's an AoE.
And you can position it at the end of that 2 inches.
Yes. So it's
5
it's 5 inches.
5
Mhm.
inches.
Yes.
Which is good because
and it's multiple models.
It's multiple models. It's 5 inches, and it's a momentous action when you're swinging. So it's like the damage is a bonus, and the conditions are premier.
I mean, he's still a 4-1 with 13 life, right? Like, he's
Yeah.
kind of a liability.
4-1 with 13 health, but also has a poison and burning aura.
Yeah.
So
True.
you enter
Yeah,
within 2
that is
inches.
true.
You enter within 2 inches. Oh hey, if you're a 1-inch model, you probably didn't even have the distance to engage because as soon as you get the burning condition applied,
It's
your
-2.
movement penalty applies. And so if you didn't plan out your steps or you didn't plan out your distance correctly, oh hey, your activation ended because now you can't reach.
It's really good.
Yeah.
My main issue with Foster, it's Mercury. It's like they're the same model, you know. And you already have
Phosphor was a better Mercury, and now Phosphor is now a mirror.
I think still better, like, because Mercury's Fireball is how he does damage, because that's not once per turn. His
Yeah.
Fire Blast is once per turn. He's got Fire Blast, that's not once per turn. He's got Fulcrum. He's got Poison and Fire Aura.
Yep.
He used to have a 2-inch melee, and it used to do 2 damage. Like, he used to just be better Mercury, 100%. But it's exactly the same character as Mercury. I was like,
Well, his bomb is also poison, and it's condition damage.
and it's but I mean,
Because Mercury's is not condition damage. It's just damage.
So I mean, another L for Mercury, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
just much better Mercury, but they're the exact same model. You know, they play
in the lore, they're brothers.
Yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but like,
So it's
Harmony and Honor, they play differently.
They
They
play
can be
differently.
brother and sister, but they play differently.
Yeah.
So like, I just thought it was like a missed opportunity because now I have 5 models or 6 models to play with instead of 7.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of just how I thought. I was like, you know, I love what the community project did with the team. I just feel like that was, I don't want to say lazy, but it's just kind of like, I want to, you know, like, and
Yes.
it's like, it's the same.
Yeah. Part of it could have just been like, hey, this is before we've designed this team, all we've done was errata changes
Mhm.
to models where we, touched up or touched
Yeah.
down models. This was, their first experience being like, we are building characters from nothing.
True.
So they were like, hey, we can do something and not worry too much about how overpowered it is
Mhm.
because of the sort of the notion that like, hey, they are this model is brothers with Mercury. So they were like, we can make another Mercury. And for a while, my teams I did run both Mercury and Phosphor.
Are you running Crucible?
At that point, I wasn't running. It was like
Or are you
it-
dropping Beacon?
I think I was dropping Beacon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was a very short experiment. I
Mhm.
think it was like 6 or 7 games where it was like, hey, like I kind of, and it was into very fast goal score teams. So it was like so much fire
Yeah.
everywhere. So, and it was like, okay, hey, here's a fire AOE that is on the ground, staying there, cutting off your routes.
Sure.
Here's damage fire AOE bombs. So those models, they haven't activated yet. Cool, they're on fire. They don't have the gold threat, so it was very specific teams that I was playing this into.
My other problem too is that Mercury's the crossover. Like now you have now Alchemists are sad. They get one extra model instead of two. They have better Mercury, but they're like it's the same model. You know, I want something new to play with and Alchemist too. You know, I feel like there was just, but he's still really good. He's still better Mercury.
Yeah, and then the small sort of mechanic of Phosphor. Phosphor being on fire, you take off your fire, and it's a 4-inch pulse. Models suffer -1 tack, and also they took that off. They took off the -1 tack, but it's now an addition, a permanent -1/-1,
which is really good.
Yeah, I mean that's another win for Phosphor and another L for.
That was good for Phosphor, but how that affected into the Soma match is it's because Phosphor again plays with Alchemist, so Soma, all the effects are hey, I make an attack. Oh, hey, I get myself on fire. I'm, now doing all these extra effects, and then afterwards, well, you've also now got a permanent -1 tack for the rest of the turn, -2 move. So they touch him down. Because
it was a lot.
It was a lot.
All right, last Lamplighter squad is Beacon.
Beacon is a troubled boy. Because Beacon,
the beefy boy.
He's a beefy boy, but he's a delinquent. He's a delinquent. He needs in my experience, he does need a fix up. Because he's really, really awkward.
That's what I've been looking at. He just looks awkward. I don't know the timing of what he should do when he activates. When I'm just looking at his card.
In terms of what Beacon does when he's off fire, works. What Beacon does when he's on fire, works. But it's the setup required and the results you get is really awkward and so disheartening. He can be set. If he gets set up, it's feast or famine.
Yeah.
So Beacon, 6/8 move with tack 6 and 3/1 defense. Your Beacon is your reposition model, and he's supposed to be your damage model, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So his playbook is also the most awkward because of the effect when he is on fire. So he has 1 damage on column 1, 2 damage on column 3, then it skips, and 3 and 4 damage on column 6.
Yeah.
With 6 tack.
So you're really getting the 2 damage.
You're getting the 2 damage, you're getting your KD on 2, and also you're getting your mow down on 3.
Yeah.
That is a great effect in Lamplighters, because if you're a 3-0 team, if you have Beacon doing a mow down, that's gonna be cool, the ball is free, or I now have less threats to interact with me when I'm taking my turns, and being cool, I'm now going to go, I can move around, I can get the ball now, and I can go score.
Yeah. He's also just kind of this relight the fire piece too.
Yeah, he does have relight the fire for himself in order to get his effect on, and then also get more fire on the field for your abilities.
Yeah. So I would love to see Phosphor be redesigned to not be Mercury. I don't know what he would do. He wouldn't be another striker piece. It would kind of be some kind of tech piece. But if he had a legendary that allowed you to have the benefits of both being on fire and off fire at the same time, I think that would be really sick. And that would really have Beacon have this one turn where he's a 3-inch melee, should damage attack, and not damage, but -1 armor plus the tack. I just feel that's a cool ability to have as legendary. It'd be this grace kind of piece, this tech piece.
Yeah.
In Lamplighters. That's what I would love to see. Phosphor as.
A piece that can give you both effects of being on and off.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Kind of crazy.
It would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, you then have to specify what is your movement. What is your movement?
If you're on fire,
if you're on fire, it'd still be.
Yeah, if you're on fire, you still stop.
Yeah, so that's the drawback.
So you would just be not on fire, but you would have both benefits.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool, right? That's pretty fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they also need some form of stick too. but that would be a very unique way of putting him in your squad. But doesn't he play into Alchemist as well?
No. No, he's solo.
If Alchemist had that much knockdown, that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's only in he's only in
Cat's gone.
Yeah. Oh wait, are we still talking about Phosphor? Or are we talking
I was talking about Beacon.
Sorry,
for Phosphor, you're right. He does play over. So I don't know what. Yeah, that legendary wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, because then
that's true. Bummer.
Yeah. So Beacon, when he's not on fire,
design stuff.
he is 6'8" move with 3-inch melee. When he's on fire, he's 4'6" move with 2-inch melee.
Big difference.
Big difference.
And when he is on fire, he gets +2 attack and Searing Strike, so -1 armor. So that's why he's your beat stick. And then at the end of his activation, he can take off fire to do a 4-inch dodge.
Yeah.
So like, unfortunately, because of like, hey, he's very like, his movement is the biggest drop off when on fire, and also when he's on fire, he's not going to be getting the 3-inch reach. So it's like you start his activation, you walk, you must walk. Hopefully you get engaging with all the models that you need for the rest of his turn. Then you spend your 1 influence, set yourself on fire. Spend your 2nd influence, do the knockdown. Hopefully you do the knockdown or do the mow down. And then finally, your 3rd influence is finally when you're doing damage. Cool, now you've done damage, you've stripped the armor, you've got 1 more attack to do the rest of the damage.
That is cool. What about?
I mean, but that's so that's so sad. That's 4 influence, and the max you've done is probably 2 damage. You've done 2 damage. You've put burning on someone, and you stripped the armor.
I mean, but if you're relighting all your guys,
you're knocking people down. I think that's kind of his stick. He's just slowing down the game so you can score. You know what I mean?
He can definitely slow down the game if you are using him to just be like, I'm walking, I'm mowing down, and I'm relighting the fire, and you're not using him for damage. He's a great model.
Yeah.
My thought is if you're using it for damage or playing with, like, I think it's 3-0, like, hard stop. Like, I mean, you could Phosphor Beacon, Mercury, and try and go for takeouts and, like, explode yourself and do damage and get, like, just some takeouts there, but, like, I don't know, I'm probably just running 3-0. I'm saying, here's my strategy, try and stop me.
Like after about 30 games or so, when I was doing my run with Lamplighters, I was very much sort of like, I'm trying hard 3-0, and by turn 3 or by turn 4 or turn 5, I was like, okay, I can't be doing anything except making beacon attacks. Yeah, and that.
I get it. I mean, like 3-0 and 6 or 06 is like really good stuff. Like you want that.
You're definitely not going 06.
Yeah. I mean, like in any,
like on the
spectrum
deviation of how to win, those are the hardest in my opinion as well. Like especially that 3rd goal is like,
it's rough.
Everybody knows you're playing 3-0. The 3rd goal is always the one that either makes or breaks your game. And by turn 3, if you don't got that 3rd goal, trouble. Is there?
I would love to see. What if Phosphor had a heroic ability where it was like an aura where you don't suffer the effect of movement penalty or damage? Like that would
help him.
That would be pretty cool.
That would help him.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of fun ways to make Phosphor good.
Yeah.
Or like Mercury would need a buff at that point, right? I think he kind of needs.
Well, I mean, it's definitely
depends on how much.
It's definitely like we're going to be seeing more changes of this with these models because at this point, hey, print on demand is happening. People are being like, oh, hey, I now can get models after like, the 3 years of the game being paused and the 2 years before the game was paused when you couldn't get the model.
I have to say, I was really surprised that SMG just didn't. When they did their errata. I mean, they changed Phosphor a little bit, but I was expecting them to make some touches.
They changed Phosphor with the announcement of the POD.
Yeah.
But it's like but it was like kind of a little bit of the agreement that through the community project being like, hey,
we like where this is at.
This is what we've done. If you are
if
you are going to be making changes, it is, you're first of all, like, we will have to be accepting them because that's how the game is going to be played if you're now doing support for it. But know that this is what we did for the state of the game when it was paused.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
do whatever changes you make, know that there is going to be feeling
Some
repercussions
animosity, if like
feeling repercussions rather than mechanical repercussions.
sure.
All right, so those are the lamp models, and now we're gonna go into the actual crossovers. We've got Crucible, Octave's favorite piece.
Oh my, so
Crucible gets on the field in my experience for my games 80% plus of the time, because you've got your acrobatic, you've got your tax aura, you've got your 6-8 movement, you've got your 3-8 kick, and you've got a ball strip
For free.
for free, or pay for it.
Yeah.
And also you get a free character play, once per turn, taking off conditions.
And then MP tax for your opponent too, which is that always surprises me on how much it impacts my game when Crucible's all up in my grill and I'm like, I need to movement. This is gonna cost 2 or 3 to it's brutal.
Crucible is so good.
Crucible really is the greatest piece.
And you just need that ranged ball threat. It gets around close control too.
It gets around close control. It gets around models that have good counter attacks where it's oh hey, I attack you, cool, I shoot the ball, but now you're swinging back at me. Oh shoot, you got to counter. Or shoot, you gotta knock out AD or something.
I mean, just getting up there, stripping a ball, acrobatics back, and passing to your team in the back lines, and then dodging back again. It's relatively safe. And it's. I think she's needed because you got to have that range ball threat on the field as lamplighters, because you're just trying to score.
And with the amount of conditions that you're putting out and how spread apart those conditions can be with phosphor, that MP tax is great.
MP tax is brutal because you have a model with 2 life and you're attacking a lamplighter model and you're like, dude, I'm gonna die if I kill him. I need to heal myself. And you're like, oh my gosh, this costs so much. You don't have the momentum. It's just all those little things. The MP tax is so good. And I think you're using her if you want to go to 2 and if you want. Yeah, she's just in 100% of my games. I would say.
No, I agree. I think Crucible makes it on the squad. For me, I would put her on the squad every single time.
Yeah, I will. From my memory it was Nightlight, Wick, Phosphor, Crucible.
Yep. No, that
was more or less what I was running.
Does Nightlight make her blow up or only Lamplight?
Yes.
She makes her blow up too?
Yes.
That's pretty sick.
Friendly models get the trait.
That's
overheat.
And then Mercury.
Last model, Mercury. It's your second ranged gun with the fireball.
My 0% in the team.
Again, I had a streak where I was like, hey, I was playing against Yukai Fish. I was playing against Order, that wasn't running bangers. I think I also did it twice into Navigators, where I was like, I'm bringing Mercury, I'm bringing Phosphor, I'm bringing Crucible, and being spread out, area denial, area, MP taxes, and just being come on.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I could see it. I would
area.
fault someone for dropping.
Honestly, so the way I look is I would play 2 very, very different fighters. So the first one would be Trio All Ball, which would be Nightlight, Soot. I would take Wick, Heat, and Crucible. And I think that's
swap out Beacon or Phosphor.
Yeah, depending on what you need. And that would be my 3-0. And then I would go 2-2, which would be Nightlight, Soot, of course, then Beacon, Mercury, Phosphor, then
That's your 2-2. Yeah,
it has to be Wick.
I mean, it has to be Wick because if you're scoring that goal on turn 1, that's giving you an extra influence for the rest of the game, and it's it gets you started.
So for me, it would be
the fire stuff.
That's right, gets it lit.
You're turning up the heat.
But I think Mercury is your beat stick because if you can wrap and get that fireball.
The small issue with Fireball is that it's damage.
Yeah. Well, you run both.
It's damage, so that means it doesn't get around tough height.
True. Yeah.
because it's hardcore 2 damage rather than Phosphor's 1 condition damage,
Yeah.
which gets around to high.
I'm playing against Lamplighters and I say 8 influence on Phosphor and Mercury and I'm still
Yes. Yeah.
like, I'm not upset at all.
So I'm just a dream scenario where it's like if Beacon can knock everyone down. Like let's say you're against Brewers, right? And there's a scrum established. Beacon knocks everyone down, and then here comes Mercury and Phosphor. And Mercury's like AoE.
And Mercury's doing 1 to all the
AoE.
models.
That's true. Right.
Like Phosphor's doing the condition damage.
Yeah.
But like, Brew's got life. They're not scoring. You just put influence on Beacon, Mercury, and Phosphor, which is probably like 12 influence.
Yeah. That's
Not
all
12. I mean, not 12. I mean, I don't know how much Beacon. Maybe just. I don't know. If you're playing against Porker, like.
Oh yeah, Quarter's fine. But I'm just saying it's like dream scenario where it's like you have a scrum established,
For sure.
and then it's not established.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I gotcha.
You're like, oh, okay.
It's interesting. It would be something to definitely try. I don't think it's gonna. I don't work.
Like, I would always play Link's trio.
Yeah.
But I would be like, Shadow Tutu.
we can play it. It would be fun.
Yeah, it's like you playing 3-0 Brewers. It's like, we can.
And again, I haven't played on the field, so I don't know how impactful the bombs are. But like maybe like your opponents are running low on life, and you're like, wow, I can actually take this. Like I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. My initial thought is that Mercury.
Yeah, when I was getting more experience in Lamplighters, I was very much sort of like, all right, hey Mercury, like, you know, you're on the bench. I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, maybe you just don't need Beacon and Heat, and you just need Area Denial.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all you need.
That's how I was.
And the rest of your team actually does get you 12 points, and Mercury just throws out an AoE and turns on you.
Yeah.
It's there. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like
I think when I was trying Mercury, the Mercury Phosphor, it was very much I was on the receive. I lost the kick, and so I was like, all right, hey, I know you can score first or second activation, so I'm just gonna put down an AoE as I'm manipulating the ball in order to be like, you now have to spend extra resources to try to get to me.
Yeah, which could be the difference. So I mean,
I guess a lot of 1-inch melee games, like maybe he's good. Like you have to get into him and set you on fire at 2 inches. Like Michael said, stop executions, but like I don't know.
The dream team is definitely Nightlight, Soot, Wick.
I feel like as long as you have those 3, I think you do need Crucible.
You need Crucible.
I think if you have those 4, you have a good team.
And then I mean, I would go Heat. Just for
I think
extra
Heat's
3-8 kick.
I'm open as well.
3-8 kick. Come on, guys. So like, I think you take Heat, and then that 6th piece is the flex. Like you could pretty much take most of the other pieces, and they could either just sit there, or they might help you. That's your draft piece. But I think the 5, in my book, that's your sleeper.
Yeah.
What would your guys' like dream team be? If I'm not drafting, this is my 6. I'm going.
If I'm running it into every single
it's
game.
2019, Andrew. 2019, Andrew.
Like,
I only run 6 models.
It's those 4, and then I haven't played the other models. Like I haven't played any model tables. So I'm gonna think it's Heat and Beacon. That's just my thought in dropping Phosphor Mercury. But like maybe, like I said, you do get people low just by having fire and blow up bombs, and maybe you do want Phosphor in there. Maybe maybe Heat goes away. Maybe you do want Mercury and Phosphor for area denial and damage. Maybe you want Mercury just for the area denial drop. So it's hard to say without knowing. But right now it would be just the base, and I would drop. What did I say I would drop?
Beacon.
Crucible?
You say you were dropping Beacon.
I would drop
Beacon.
I would drop Beacon for Crucible.
Yeah. Huh?
What are you
what's
running
yours
right now?
So we got Nightlight, we got Soot, we got Wick.
Yep.
Crucible.
Yep.
And then it was for me. I felt always so safe that I could be getting up on tempo with Phosphor,
Okay.
Yep,
and
makes
then
sense.
because it's like, hey, I'm doing, dude.
I mean, you do need models to get momentum.
That-
I was getting momentum. I was doing at least 4 damage because it was an AOE and it was doing 2 condition damage. So it was doing 4 damage, burning poison on
Every influence spent.
every influence spent. So it's like, hey, cool. I'm getting up on value. My
And then if
thoughts.
those conditions go up, you're getting another 6
Yeah, rising stocks.
damage.
Yeah. So that was, and then my 6th one was
Mercury or Heat.
it was Beacon because KD.
Okay.
Makes
You
sense.
need it. You need that sort of manipulation. because Nightlight has KD.
Mhm.
It's on column
It's out there.
6.
It's out.
It's on column. No, sorry, it's on column 5.
It's not happening.
One,
It's
two,
what it is. What it is.
It's on column 5. It's not momentous, and she's tax 6 1 daily. Like that ain't happening.
Yeah.
So Beacon was.
You need some knockdowns.
You need some knockdowns. You need Beacon's also got your double pushes.
He's got that push
Mhm.
tech.
You got the push tech.
You do.
You need some pushes, man.
I feel like he is a brewer.
You kind of need him.
Just like replace.
And
the
he's
win.
like the O-Cat, you know? Like, you just kind of
And, like,
need
you
this position piece.
And because of his manipulation of being like, hey, 3-inch reach, 3-inch reach, and then armor strip. Like if you were running into Masons with all that extra armor,
That Spigot, like, that guy's dick. He's got so much armor.
Yeah, I was looking at SB. I'm like, why aren't you like this in brewers?
Yeah.
Like, where did this go? Where did this come from?
Yeah, so that would have been my 6. When I think I also have the record for the first physical Lamplighters game played.
Ooh.
So the STLs were released, and because I was a Kickstarter backer, I had them, and the agreement was, hey, if you were a Kickstarter backer, you're getting the STLs at least first, no matter if you unlock that tier or went higher. But if someone asks you for the STLs, we're in no position to be enforcing being like, you're not allowed to share this.
Yeah.
But the agreement we're making with the community is after 8 months of exclusivity, we're gonna pre-release the STLs, and everyone can print them off, because we want you to at least have something to play.
We're currently in that phase. They're free.
Yes. So you can get the STLs for free. You're also gonna get alternate sculpts for Mercury and Crucible. Mercury's doing Hadoken.
I mean, they look good. They look like they're in line with the artwork. I feel like they kind of stick out if you're running it with the new sculpt. But I feel like
the original Crucible looks so significantly different from these models that it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But original Mercury and the Phosphor, they actually look really good. They look
Mercury
good.
does look good.
They look good and match the aesthetic. Beacon, my boy, they did a wonderful thing where he's on a ladder and holding up a lamp, and it's like he's got a fire trail from that. Like he's like,
you can run them with the ladder or without too.
Yes.
There's an option.
Yes, there. Yes.
That was a cool thing. Like, if some people don't like,
So the STLs, they're hosted on Longshanks. You can go there, download them, print them out, or give them to someone with a printer, or go to a service that prints stuff for you, and you have a team.
Yeah. Yep.
So with the new print-on-demand release, where you can get the kickoff models, you can get Lucky, and you can get the Lamplighters with the play-ups.
That's three free teams, boys. If you have a printer or know someone with a printer.
Yep. That's 3 teams.
That's crazy.
Get a meta started. Pray your lamps. Let us know if we're talking crazy. Or
And
do you agree with our assessment?
Any other closing thoughts on lamps, guys?
I would say we usually do pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Yes.
So, what are the pros and cons of playing alchemists that you or not lamplighters? Like, what's fun about them? What's not so fun about them?
What is so fun is what is so fun is that very short puzzle you have at the beginning of turn 1 to being like, I can score a goal. I can score a goal. It is possibly really trivial, or it's just like I need maybe one or two extra steps, but it's like I can score a goal turn 1, and you know that feeling. That is the greatest feeling in the world, where it's like I scored, I'm up, let's go, this game is rolling, we got ourselves a game. That is the best feeling.
Yeah, agreed. Pros, it's free, not free. You have to print it, cost resin. You have to know someone or have a printer. That's all expensive. We know the drawbacks, but it is available. I like the resource mechanic.
Yep.
Like I said, I think that was a pro for our alchemy mechanic. I think they are a high skill team, which would be a con or a pro, depending on your play style. They're very squishy, and what else?
They're squishy, but they get a benefit from the squishiness with them
the blow ups.
being able to blow up.
I would say the pros for me is it's like, of course, the accessibility of being able to, you know, either create a meta or, and again, with the drawbacks of you need to have a printer somehow.
Yeah.
But it's 3 teams now that's very easily accessible and attainable. If you have a printer instantly, like within 8 hours of your whim to obtain it. It's another unique 3-0 team.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we've got, was it Order, Fish, Navigators, let's see,
Miners,
Miners,
2-2.
Falconers.
I mean, as a 3-0
As a
team.
3-0, Falconers.
Yeah.
Masons can do it.
True, but I like their mechanic of the on-off. I think that's really cool. The ways, it is also a very high skill cap team in the fact that it's like you need to plan your activations. You gotta think maybe even 2 steps ahead of the curve. Because you gotta think, what's my opponent gonna do to jam out my plan? What am I going to do after that?
Yeah.
Right? So it's, if you want to rack your brain on how to do 3-0, kind of similar to Order, but not as, you know, I think lamps are there, especially if you want to learn the activation orders. Because that's very important to other teams
For sure.
that are super reliant on activation orders. So if you're looking for like a moderate to high complexity like team right out the gate, because I would say, like, you know, Brewers, Masons, they're pretty moderate complexity, but this is that extra step as far as like, I need to.
The floor starts high and gets higher.
I would say don't start with that. I would
Like this is not a team. This is not a pro. This is not a team to be like, I'm starting the game. I don't know the mechanics, and I'm playing this team.
Exactly.
Like, really, don't let that stop.
First of all, if you look at these models, you like their aesthetic. If you like, they granted, you know, the art on the cars looks a little bit sort of like, you know, they do look a little bit, you know, Mary Poppins, Disney, and the sculpts, like they're different. They're different from the models that you've seen with the POD or the original metals and resin or second printing resins. They're physically looking different, but if you look at these models and you say I like how these look and I want to be playing them, play them. Play them. Play them.
Yeah.
Like we are you can get results with these. It's gonna take you a little bit of time to start seeing those results. But like some results you can see immediately on the field, like your first turn quick goal.
I think it's basically what we're trying to say is like, play them. Disclaimer, right? Is like you should
be like a tough learn.
It is going to be a tough learn, but if you can master it, then you're going to. It's basically, it's like, if you want to set the ceiling high for yourself. If you've played other miniatures games, let's say the Cubs or the War Machines, like miniatures games where activation order really, really matters, then I think you can hop into lamps, and if you can learn them and figure out your game, then you could take that skills and put it into other guilds. Where it's like Brewers, you're kind of shoehorning yourself into playing the scrum tech. Masons, I think, is still the best middle of the road. Easy to pick up. You learn a lot about the game.
Any play style.
But lamps, I'm saying is like, if you want that complexity, you want to challenge yourself,
they got it.
They got it.
And there's something to be said about repping our community's contribution to the game while it was not supported. That hey, we made a whole faction, a whole guild
that is now
still supported.
Yes,
and, like, our models and artwork are
and
like,
it fits.
And it fits. It's really cool. It's a statement to get the torch burning.
I agree. The lamps lit.
The lamps lit, as they say with that.
With that, we'll get on to, so this is episode 1 with our dear guest Michael, and we're gonna go to episode 2. It might be a little sped up because we're starting the tournament at 10:30.
I think registration is at 10.
At 10?
At 10?
I think 10:30.
I think it's 10:30. Well, I'll cut the episode while we find that information. The second episode might be only 30 minutes, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Well, we have a tournament happening.
Yeah,
literally after this recording.